Shifting focus now to another war zone, Ukraine. Its battlefield wars are only mounting. Its army is outnumbered and outgunned. It is struggling to slow down the Russian advances. In short, the situation is bad. On the 11th of April, Russia launched a major airstrike on Ukraine, destroying Kyiv's largest power-generating plant, the Tripilska plant. Footage showed fire and smoke billowing out of the Soviet-era facility. Not just Kyiv, Russian missiles and drones hit power facilities in several regions of Ukraine. This is not new. Recently, Russia has been ramping up pressure on Ukraine's embattled energy system. Ukraine is running low on air defenses, and Russia is taking advantage of that. The destroyed power plant outside Kyiv is a major supplier for the capital region as well as for Cherkasy and Zhytomyr regions. It is the third and last facility owned by the state-owned energy company Centrenergo. Following the Russian strikes, the head of the supervisory board of the company, Andrei Gota, said, and I'm quoting, "Everything is destroyed." Over more than 2 years of the war, Russia has systematically targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure. By breaking Ukraine's power grid, Moscow basically wants to break the Ukrainian people's spirit by depriving them of electricity, heat, water. The Tripilska plant was the biggest energy facility near Kyiv. It was built to have a capacity of 1,800 megawatts, which is more than the pre-war needs of Ukraine's biggest city. The Yukarenko grid operator said its substations and power generating facilities had been damaged in attacks on the regions of Odessa, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Lviv, and Kyiv. And what's more, Ukraine's largest private electricity company, DTEK, which lost 80% of its generating capacity in attacks in March, said that Russia's latest attacks had hit 2 of its power stations. The attacks, which hammered thermal as well as hydroelectric power plants, sparked fears about the resilience of Ukraine's energy system. It has already been hobbled by Russia's air campaign in the war's first winter. Condemning the attacks as terror, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, and I'm quoting, "We need air defense and other defense support, not eye-closing and long discussions." Ukraine's appeals for urgent air defense supplies from the West have grown increasingly desperate. Since last month, Russia has renewed its long-range aerial assaults on the Ukrainian energy system. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba was blunt, in fact, in his calls for more US-made Patriot systems. During a visit to Slovakia, he told the Ukrainian state news agency, "What is there to discuss? There is only a single question. Give us Patriot systems. If we had Patriots, we would not have lost all of this today." Clearly, Ukraine is blaming the West for its losses on the battlefield. And meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry described its attack on Ukraine as a tit-for-tat move. Moscow said that the strikes were a response to Ukrainian drone attacks on Russia's oil, gas, and energy facilities. Putin told his ally, the Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, that the attacks were a part of Russia's objective of the demilitarization of Ukraine. Remember, it is one of the stated objectives behind Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Russian news agencies quoted Putin as telling Lukashenko, I'm quoting, "Unfortunately, we observed a series of strikes on our energy sites recently and were obliged to respond." According to news agency Reuters, Ukraine has tried to find a pressure point against Russia by bombing oil facilities far behind the front lines. There is fear in Ukraine of a big Russian offensive soon. Since gaining control of Avdiivka in February, Russia now controls 18% of Ukrainian territory. The Russian forces are not stopping. Troops have inched forward in the Donetsk region, in fact, and are keeping up the pressure on the fronts west of Avdiivka and Bakhmut. While Ukraine faces manpower and weapons shortage, Russia has been able to recruit a large number of volunteer fighters, allowing it to sustain the momentum on the battlefield. And experts say Russia will attack Ukraine in places it looks the weakest, while maintaining focus on eastern Donbas region. They say that Russian strikes look like they are aimed at scaring people to leave the city, laying the ground for a possible ground operation at a later date. And if Russia keeps up the intensity of its strikes, Ukraine is in danger of running out of options. It has already run out of air defense munitions, and now it is having to make difficult decisions about what to defend. Why is the West leaving Ukraine out to dry? Have they lost hopes of Ukraine ever winning this war? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.